Welcome to Kicking It Local, the podcast all about the football community in South Australia. I'm your host, Johnny Kecko, and Macron Sports Hub Adelaide are ready to provide your club with all your teamwear needs. For club inquiries or online shopping, head to macronstoreadelaide.com.au. Now it's time to get back into part 2 of my chat with Di Alagich, former Adelaide United captain and also former Matilda. It's a great chat I've had so far with her in part 1. If you haven't heard that yet, go back and do so now. Otherwise, here's a quick refresher. Was there any interesting moments when you, from witnessing as a kid, of how your dad coached his kids?
Yeah, he was very hard.
Was he?
He was very hard on us. So it was hard to get a compliment off him. But he made sure that he was very fair. And I actually remember one game. I think I was playing. It was maybe under 17s, and I got quite a bad tackle put on me. And I remember him jumping the fence and telling this guy off. And I think that was probably my last game that I played in the men's competition. I used to do calisthenics. My mum made me do calisthenics to do a sort of girly sport. And we had an end of year dance and we could be whatever we wanted to be in that dance. And so I said, Mum, you need to make me like a Socceroos jersey. So she made me this little jersey and I wore it for the dance recital.
Just talking about your mum as well, I want to go back to a few steps where you talked about calisthenics. Have you still got that jersey that your mum made for you?
Yeah, I still have it.
You still have it?
Yeah.
It's still in nice, good condition from back then?
Mint condition, yep.
Nice. You got to frame it maybe and put it on the wall.
I did a series with Optus, and I actually brought it along to show them, and so I still got it. It's it's one of my prized possessions.
That's pretty.
It was my dream,
That's cool. And so did you, when you finally got that dream as well, that would have been a huge moment for you to play. Obviously, you were dreaming to be in calisthenics in the Olympics, but to play for the Matildas was incredible for yourself. How was it leading up to that first game for you? What did it feel like?
Yeah, it was an interesting process because we were all at the AIS and we're in a centralised program, and we'd been in there for a couple of years together actually. So the anticipation for the Olympics was crazy. It was you've built up your whole life waiting for this moment. So the anticipation was a killer, to be honest. Like the weeks leading into it, you just want to be out in the field. You're just ready to go. Like you've done the training, you've done your video analysis. You know your role in the team. You just want to play. We actually started. Our first game was 2 days before the opening ceremony. So we actually, our coach Chris Tansey, he wanted to prepare us to be on our feet all night, walking around for the opening ceremony, and we had to back up and play the next day. So in preparation for that, we'd actually went to a camp in Thredbo. We were walking late at night, walking around, and then we had to play a game the next day. So he actually prepared us for that. So we felt so prepared in every aspect of the game. We'd been together for a couple of years, and so just to be able to play that first game was just insane. And the opening ceremony was crazy. I remember walking around the stadium, and then one of the guys, they were holding their hands around, all linking arms around the stadium. And then he grabbed us because we knew him from the AIS, and he's like, just stay here, you're in the best spot ever. And we were right in front of the cauldron where Kathy lit the flame. So
wow.
So many good memories about the Sydney Olympics.
Do you still talk to some of the players from those games?
Yeah, I'm still really good friends. Like that's the beauty of football. You make lifelong friends, and you might not see them for 5 years, but it's like you saw them yesterday. It's I think that's probably one of the greatest gifts of football. What it's given me is the friendships that I've made, and they're my best friends still after all of these years. So yeah, I'm pretty lucky.
You ended up playing. You mentioned it earlier briefly about the 2006 Asia Cup here in South Australia. How was that for you to play in your actually home state now? You played in your home country, but now in your actual state where you were born, your family live here. How was that for you to be able to come home and play with the Matildas?
Yeah, the Asian Cup was, yeah, it was such a good experience. Like we didn't quite get there by beating China in the final, but to make the final, we qualified for the World Cup as well. So it was a very significant tournament for us. We beat Japan to go into the World Cup. So we succeeded in that respect. Fell just short against China in the final, but yeah, again, to be able to play at Highmarsh Stadium, this is a stadium like I was a little girl watching my brother play for West Adelaide, and
Yeah.
like yeah, just to be able to be on the field and in a Matilda strip and representing my country and making the World Cup, it was yeah one of the best sort of tournaments I've ever really played in. Apart from the World Cup and Olympics, it was
Mm.
yeah one of the most special tournaments.
Did you ever think you get the opportunity to play at Harmer Stadium? Obviously, this was before you moved to Adelaide United, but did you ever think you would have the opportunity to play at Harmer Stadium?
I don't think so. No, I don't, yeah, I thought it was just something that I'd never achieved. But yeah, I mean, I got to play in some pretty cool stadiums around the world. Like played on the Azteca
Mm.
and things like that. But yeah, there's just something special about playing on. It's the birthplace of football in Adelaide. It's like it's the heartbeat, isn't it?
Mm.
Hallmark Stadium. So yeah, to be able to play there is it's something pretty special.
Then with Highmarsh as well, that's going to be hosting some World Cup games. Who would have thought that the World Cup will be right here at Highmarsh Stadium? Because we always got told that we'll never get games in Adelaide. Adelaide Oval will need to be the place, but the home of football is Highmarsh Stadium. How cool is it now you went there back there recently and did a little film, 2 minute interview down there for the broadcasting partners of the World Cup. How was it to go there now, knowing that there's going to be World Cup games played right here?
Yeah, and such quality teams are going to be played there
Mm,
too. Like you've got England, Brazil, China. So Adelaide's going to see some really, really good football, and I think it's exactly what South Australia need as well, especially in that getting those girls to come and watch games, girls and boys getting out there, seeing the quality of these girls play now is just
mm,
phenomenal. Like yeah, it's. I think the people of Adelaide are going to be quite shocked because it's a long time since they've seen live football, and I hope we just sell it out and everyone gets behind those teams and just sees how good women's football is now. But yeah, I was lucky enough to go back there recently, and the stadium it looks amazing. It's a spectacular stadium and such a good stadium to view football on as well.
mm.
You're right on top of the players, and yeah, I'm so whoever managed to pull that off, Adelaide getting games to the World Cup. Well done,
It's it is a
well done.
it is a big achievement to have that. I was lucky enough to go see the Matildas only a couple of years ago. Sam Kerr was playing there at Harmer Stadium, a huge crowd. It's amazing to see how the support has grown for the Matildas, especially in the last few years, and it's good to see. And game number one's going to have 80,000 people down there, and it's amazing to really see how it's grown.
Yeah, oh, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it actually because it's I guess my dream was always to play for my country, but it was also my dream to have people understand like how good the game is,
Mm,
like to get out and see it and to really witness the best women's players now. They're incredible, and we're just so lucky that we've got Sam Kerr, and she's not the only
no.
amazing player, but we've got a team full of them now, and yeah, just it's so great that Adelaide can have games in the World Cup, and um, yeah, it really is to 80,000 to sell their first game out 80,000. It's like yeah, I just have to pinch myself really.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? And you're you're now living in Brisbane, so you're not here in Adelaide to see what is the way it feels in the lead up to it and during it, the World Cup. But what's it been like in Brisbane, with the talk around the World Cup and the feel over there?
Yeah, it's I think there's a buzz everywhere now, and yeah, I'm really like, especially on the socials, I'm really feeling it. Like I'm really like that anticipation for the for us to finally see the Matildas play and what they're capable of, and you know, we're in a really good space. But we had the World Cup trophy tour recently up there. I know it's been down to Adelaide, so
That was
you know,
cool.
that's a really fun time, and you know, the engagement of the fans, and yeah, there's a real buzz around the games that we've got here, and you know, especially the Matildas are playing in Brisbane, so it's yeah, it's pretty massive. And again, Suncorp, what a great stadium to watch
Mm.
football at, and yeah, I can't wait to be out there watching the game.
Did you get a photo with the World Cup? I know you've played for the World Cup in the past, but did you get a photo with the trophy this time around as a supporter?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get a photo, and Christine Lilly was there as well. So she's a two-time World Cup champion
Mm.
from the USA. So yeah, I managed to get a photo with her and the World Cup trophy. She got to pick it up, so so
Yeah,
yeah,
the
no,
perks of
it's pretty
winning
cool.
the perks of winning
Yeah,
that trophy as well, isn't it? You get to
yeah,
touch it.
you get to touch it. So
I remember I'd stay half a meter away from it when I had the photo next to it,
yeah,
but that's it. You gotta win those cups to get that the privilege
yeah,
of touching it. But it's it's cool to see the buzz around it and seeing when I was lucky enough when I went, there was kids from the local schools around the corner going to the state centre to play games there while the trophy was on tour, and then they were taking breaks and going to have photos with it, and the buzz around it was incredible. And these are young kids that are probably one day going to be playing for that trophy.
yeah. That's the thing, because you know, you look at how many like even some of the Matildas now, they remember Kathy Freeman running at the Sydney 2000 Olympics,
Yeah.
and it's like these kids now watching this, like they're gonna, you know, they might be the ones there, and when
Mm.
the Olympics are in 2032. So yeah, it's just so exciting that the fact that these kids can watch football on home soil, watch the World Cup on home soil. It's yeah, it's incredible.
Well, that's something cool to think about as well. Is that we got the 2023 Women's World Cup. When we had the 2000 Olympics, we didn't have anything else to think about that we're going to have aspire to, but we know we're going to have the Olympics in 2023 32. How cool is that to know that there's another opportunity for the Matildas to play here?
Yeah, that's right. It's not, you know, it's not that far away after the World Cup either. So it's you know, hopefully like the, you know, we're leaving that lasting legacy from this World Cup, and hopefully, you know, you look to 10 years time, and what we could potentially do in 10 years time. You know, imagine World Cup trophy and then Olympic gold medal.
Yeah.
Be crazy, be
Yeah,
insane.
that would be cool. And how does it actually feel for you though? Because that quote I mentioned earlier about you mentioned how you wanted to be a Socceroo because you didn't know there was a women's national team. Looking back now, these young girls, they know who the Matildas are. They know who Sam Kerr is. They know Charlie Grant played for their local club around the corner in Adelaide. They know who these people are now. And how cool is it for you to see how that's all changed and it's totally different? Well, hopefully a lot more different than what it was when you were growing up.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah, it's kind of yeah, it seems so weird to, you know, the fact that
Mm.
the Matildas are on everything and everyone knows about them, and you know, it's really great for our sport. You know, it can only go in leaps and bounds from here, and I know I feel like we're where the USA were 20 years ago. I think it's taken us this long to be where they are, and if you look at the US, they've been on the top of the world stage for, you know, the last 20 years. So I feel that this is our time to take the next step and, you know, really cement our spot in the top three in the world. And you know, I really believe that this is our time. Like there's a lot of injuries with other countries.
Mm.
There's a lot of ACL injuries actually. So we seem to be firing. This team's been around for such a long time now that, you know, I feel like this is our time, and I really believe like it's going to be our time for the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
I feel that way. I feel like it's all building, and now it's time to deliver.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time for women's football, and for you as well, how important is this for the women's game that we have this, and also some states have a legacy plan put in place for the future of the women's game. I'm sure you're across what South Australia are doing with in regards to that. How important is this for the future and for these young girls coming up to say, I want to be a Matilda, not thinking about just there's just the Socceroos anymore. There's the Matildas are a thing that they can aspire to.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really believe that that's more important than hosting the World Cup.
Mm,
It's what do we what does it mean? Like, what can we leverage from it? Like, what can we leave to for all these young girls and boys after the World Cups? You know, the World Cup's going to come and go, but yeah, what is it now that we can get, well, we can give to our sport? And I think, you know, this legacy program that we have, it's really building, as I said, us up for the next 10, 20 years. And if we can get, you know, twice as many girls and boys out playing our game that we love, like, you know, that's brilliant. And, you know, even like things like you know, childhood obesity now is,
mm.
it's just prevalent. And you think, you know, if you can get all get girls and boys off the tablets, get them out kicking the ball around, like, even if that's the memory from this World Cup, then, you know, I think that's going to be pretty amazing.
It is, and it will be cool to see. Yeah, hopefully kids go out and play football more often. I'm seeing more kids talking about wanting to play football, which is it's great. Starting that conversation, which is really good to see.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, being football people, we always love talking
Yeah.
football and other people, you know, joining in those conversations. So I love when sort of I was living in Sydney for a long time, so everyone talks about rugby league. So it's really nice that those conversations around football now, the real
Yeah.
football, as we
Yes.
call it. Yeah, so it's just nice that our sport has that, you know, the spotlights on it, and we're all drawn to that now. So it's yeah, it's going to be a really nice, probably next, 3 or 4 weeks when, yeah, the spotlight's on our sport and on our Matildas.
And I'm sure your family, obviously being a football family, are all excited and been talking about it with each other.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And yeah, we've got, oh, God, I can't even remember what team Richie said that was going to win the World Cup, but yeah, we've got our bets on. So
Oh, you got bets on.
um,
There you go.
yeah, no, we've been chatting about it, and of course, they've all got tickets to go to the Adelaide game. So yeah, they'll be out there watching and supporting supporting the World Cup.
It's gonna be cool. And well, now I want to cast a bit more of an eye on your personal achievements that you've managed to get through your career. You were inducted into the Hall of Champions 2010 for FFA, Football Federation Australia, as they were known back then, Football Australia as they're currently known. How was that achievement 13 years ago to be able to get inducted into that?
Yeah, it was wonderful to be recognised, and yeah, I got inducted with Ned Zelich and
Mm,
Mike Cockerell, and um, yeah, to like I still remember Ned Zelich scoring that goal against Holland and from the sideline, and yeah, so to be on the stage with him was incredible. Um, yeah, as I said, I never, I never played the games for the accolades, and it was just a nice way to be recognised after I retired. And um, again, yeah, having family there to yeah, to be there when I received that award, it was really nice.
And that's 13 years ago, but only a few months ago, you were inducted into the SA Sport Hall of Fame for 2023. How special is that to be recognised on a whole for like all of South Australian sport in your home state? How special is that to be recognised there?
Yeah, I'm a bit lost for words on that one too. It's, yeah, incredible. I never expected it, and yeah, to think about those other athletes that are up on the wall there, the Hall of Fame wall. I'm like, yeah, I sort of aspired to be like them when I was a girl, and
Mm.
yeah, to be on the same wall as them was, yeah, I still find it pretty crazy to, actually to be honoured that way. But yeah, it was a really nice night, and Bruce McAvaney was one of the inductees too, and
That's cool.
ironically now he's going to be commentating the World Cup. So I can't wait to hear him call the games.
Did you get to chat with him on the night?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he's an impressive human, and yeah, as I said, I'm looking forward to hearing him call the games because he's an absolute professional, and
Mm.
yeah, definitely wanted to get some advice off me about the game and yeah, my perspective of it too. So it was nice to have a chat with him.
He's such a passionate guy about all sports, which is
Yeah.
great. He's pretty much covered every sport you can think of.
Yeah, he's incredible. Like, I wish I could remember that many things, but he can remember so many details about everything, and yeah, so many intricacies of the sport, and
Mm.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to hearing him call the game because it's like he did Kathy Freeman, and at the awards night they had they put a compilation together of all these calls, and yeah, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. Like you sort of sometimes you don't realize how much that impacts, like the commentary impacts the emotions of what's just happened. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's,
Well,
looking forward to it.
we all hold him in high regard, and everyone loves him as a commentator. Being inducted into the South Australian Hall of Fame at the same time as him, knowing how well respected what he is as a sports commentator, how does that make you feel to be alongside him, alongside Bruce McAvaney? How does that make you feel
Yeah,
personally?
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I just, as I said, I can't believe it, but yeah, I just have to pinch myself really. But
Yeah,
yeah,
does that just really shows like how important, how big it is to be up against someone like with someone of that stature is that's incredible. And well, how did that come about? Like, how did you get the phone call? How did you find out that you were being inducted? What was the process like for you to find out about it all?
yeah. So you have to be nominated, and then that nomination goes to the board, and then they have to unanimously decide that they want that person inducted. So it's quite a long process, and then yeah, I just got the phone call to say that I was inducted, and yeah, I couldn't really believe it. Yeah, it's still sort of sinking in, I think. Yeah.
What was it like with the family when you finally told them about it all?
Yeah, my mum cries pretty easily, so she was in tears, and yeah, my brothers are all proud of me. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was just nice. Yeah,
that's cool. Cool to get that recognition for what you've done for the sport. But on a personal achievement to get something like that as a female footballer, and also to make such an impact as you have in the game, what do you hope that your impact that you've had will have on the future generations of women footballers and even just any athletes in female sports?
yeah. I guess my impact as a player is not going to impact these players now, but I sort of feel that the generation before me, I stood on their shoulders, and this generation has stood on our shoulders. So I feel like yeah, we sort of paved the way a little bit for to make things easier for this generation. Um, and I guess I've given a lot back to the game in a sense of coaching, and that's where I feel like I can
Mm,
really impact players now, where I can I guess help them on their journey in just a little way that you can as a coach. And yeah, that's where I feel like I enjoy giving back now to the game, and making an impact to
mm.
to the lives of girls now who aspire to be a Matilda or aspire to play NPL, whatever their sort of aspirations are within the sport.
Well, you're now coaching under 15s. I spoke with another former Matilda and Tracy Jenkins, who coaches WNPL here in South Australia, but she also coached under 18s at West Adelaide. And the coaching men's, there's not many female footballers or coaches that are doing that these days. What do you hope that we can get with the next generation of female coaches coming through to try and get into the men's football?
Yeah, I think we definitely need more female coaches. 100% definitely need more. I feel like now coaching is I'm back where I was
Yeah.
playing days. You're sort of very, I don't know, almost isolated being a female coach. Um, I think it's a long way to go before there's female coaches coaching regularly in men's teams. I personally feel passionate about coaching other women. I think
Yep.
that's where I don't have the ambition to coach men's teams. I think there's enough men coaching men, but yeah, I definitely think there's room for more female coaches to be coaching female teams.
How do you finding coaching now and passing on what you know and all that into the next generation? How's that for you, and how do you find that?
Yeah, I love it. I love being out in the field, and nothing's ever like playing, but like I've stepped back from the game now for a long time playing wise. So um, yeah, it's really enjoyable. It's enjoyable when you have coachable athletes and you can teach them, and they can do it on the field. Like it's really it's a really nice process, one that I really enjoy. But it's hard. Coaching's hard. It's definitely not easy, especially
Mm.
the age group that I'm coaching. But nothing lasting is or worthwhile is ever easy. So I'm up for the challenge, and I look forward to coaching for the next however many years, and as long as I'm enjoying it, and as long as my athletes are enjoying it, then I can see a long future in coaching.
Well, we hope it is a long future and a successful future in coaching for you as well, because you obviously had a successful career in playing, and hopefully we'll see you coaching for many years, and maybe one day we'll see you coaching at the top level.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. I'm enjoying the level that I coach now, and I enjoy sort of coaching the younger girls as well. So, but yeah, who knows where it might take me. I'm just still learning, and as I said, enjoying it. So
Yeah. I've really enjoyed chatting with you, Di. It's been great to learn. Oh, we could talk all day and find out a lot more, I reckon, because we can't fit a whole lifetime of football and life with your family and playing days into an hour or so talking with you in a podcast. But I appreciate you sharing your story with me. And I want to wrap it all up now with the final questions I ask every single guest, the kicking it questions. And these are the fun ones that you, off the cuff, give me some answers. But the first one, who would you love to kick it with on the park? Anyone in the world, if you had the opportunity to, who would you love to?
good question. You have to be messy.
Messi, nice.
Yeah.
I've had that a few times. What's the reasoning behind your choice?
Um. Oh, he's just extraordinary,
Yeah,
and I think that is a great. Yeah, I just think it's a great choice because he's the best player in the world. Why wouldn't you?
yeah, that is a good choice. He'll be a lot of fun to definitely to have a kick with. Second one is, who would you love to kick it with on a Saturday night? Relax, watch some football, and have a couple of beers maybe, and just sit back and relax. So someone locally and someone internationally. Locally can be Australia
Um,
wide if you like.
um, so just any. Does it have to be a footballer or
No, it
just?
could be anyone in the world. Doesn't have to be footballer. Everyone it started off as footballers, and then everyone just started going rogue on it, which is great. I love that because you can just add whoever you want to be spending the night with.
A
You can watch
couple
football. You
of
can do
beers.
whatever you want on a Saturday night. Just kick it
Well,
with.
that's a real tough
It
one.
is, isn't it?
Put me on the spot now.
Someone locally, someone internationally. Could be family, could be friends, could be anyone.
Um,
What about even former
well,
players or?
yeah, maybe. Oh,
It is hard, isn't it?
maybe
I've never had to
it
ask
is
myself this
hard.
question.
It is hard. Um, I come back to that, or I have to answer it?
Well, that's the last question of the podcast, so we can extend it for how long as you want. Could be part three.
Um, okay. I feel like it's going to be so lame, but maybe internationally, like Tay Tay.
Yep.
She's pretty cool. Yeah.
Locally.
Locally, uh, you know what? I'd love to go and have a beer with you. To be honest,
With me.
yeah,
I think
I've had a good time chatting with you. I'd love to go and have a beer with you.
there we go. All right. I appreciate that. I'd love to have a beer with you and talk more about football. Maybe we can watch the Matildas together.
Lock it in.
Done. We'll lock it in. Either Brisbane or Adelaide, whichever one, whoever we can get.
Are you coming to Brizzy for the
I'm
game?
I'm not, unfortunately.
Oh,
I am going to Sydney though. So if you're ever in Sydney for the final,
might have to reschedule it then.
we'll reschedule. And I'm very honoured that you chose me though. But looks forward to hopefully we can have a chat further. But I really appreciate you opening up and talking about your story, your family, which is I think for us personally as fans, football fans, is a big part of South Australian football. Is the Alagich family. So I appreciate you sharing that with us, and also your story about the Matildas and aspiring to play and eventually getting that dream and continuing it on for so long as well.
Yeah, thanks, Johnny. I've really enjoyed having a chat with you. It's been really nice.
All the best for the future, and we'll look forward to chatting to you hopefully in the future.
Look forward to that beer.
Yes, definitely. Me too. That was former Matilda and former Adelaide United captain as well, Alagich. Make sure you subscribe to Kicking It Local wherever you get your podcasts so you can get a taste of the SA football community. Plus, follow Kicking It Local SA on Instagram and Twitter so you don't miss any of the action. See you soon.